What's up, everybody, and welcome to the UB Postgame Show, where our Buffalo Bulls just defeated Lafayette by a score of 30-13. The start of the Pete Lembo era started tonight. Mark, what did you like most about what you saw so far?
It was fantastic. This was probably the most fun I can remember having here at UB Stadium in quite a while. They did everything I was hoping they would do, right? You controlled the line of scrimmage. The run game for Lafayette, which I thought would be their strength today, they completely shut it down. Totally. Curtis, their star running back, he was completely ineffective, taken out of the game. Not physically, just he was not able to get anything going. The team wasn't able to get anything going.
A complete non-factor was Lafayette's run game against this stout Buffalo run defense. I believe the last time I checked, they averaged less than a yard per carry. That is how good Buffalo's defense was. On defense, was there anybody who stood out to you most, and how do you think they did?
Those who you expect to show up showed up big. Obviously, Sean Dolak, Red Murdoch, but I think the pleasant surprise today, who really got things kicked off, Jalen McNair. He had an amazing game today. He had a pick, which was fantastic. That was the first first turnover of the season. That was the first defensive series of the game. And he looked solid. Like, he was making great tackles. He had great coverage all game. He was a pleasant surprise for sure.
Sean Dolak doing what Sean Dolak does. That is why fans at UB were so excited when he decided to transfer back from Utah. He finished with 2 tackles for loss, I believe 11 tackles overall, 6 solo tackles, and an absolutely incredible interception. The Bulls were really looking like maybe they would lose control of this game, and Dolak skies to make this interception, and then on the very next play, it was Jaquiz Barksdale who was able to run it into the end zone to really kind of seal the game for the UB Bulls. Also, like Mark mentioned, Red Murdoch, simply incredible again. He had a tackle for loss. I believe he also had 7 tackles. Marcus Fuqua, also a tackle for loss. He had 7 tackles also in this game. Surprising in this game, or no, the play of starter CJ Agbana, his first start at the FBS level.
Yeah, so we heard all offseason, all preseason, how much work that not just he put in, but the coaches put into him, and his progression as a passer. There's been plenty of interviews with him where he said coming in last year, obviously he was more of a package guy with Snyder at the helm, and he wasn't as comfortable as a passer when he was coming into this offseason. They worked with him, and you can really tell, given the performance he had out there. There's still some stuff to work out. It's not a finished product by any means, but they looked a heck of a lot better tonight than they've looked the last couple of years.
Yeah, I believe he was very surprising. He looked very poised in the pocket on a lot of different throws. As Mark mentioned, there are some things that he needs to clean up. However, he finished 14 of 24, 195 yards and 2 touchdowns, I believe. He made some great plays, some good reads. Did have some hiccups, some plays batted down at the line, things like that. But those are things that you can clean up. Overall, a very, very quality first start at the FBS level for CJ Agbana. Also, I think we have a new RB1 for this UB Bulls team. As LJ Henderson came in, he was the feature back to start this game. But Jaquiz Barksdale, I think he supplanted him in this game.
Yeah, he had a great game today. He was averaging well over 6 yards a carry. He finished off just a yard short of 100. And I don't know if it was the game plan, but if it was to wear the defense down and then bring him in with fresh legs just to pound them into submission, he totally accomplished that today. He looked amazing.
He was very, very good from the jump. And as I said, I think he kind of supplanted LJ Henderson as RB1 going into next week. He had 14 carries for, I think, 99 yards, whereas Henderson had 13 carries for 37 yards. He did have a very nice touchdown run, did LJ Henderson, in the first half. However, he kind of got bottled up for the rest of the game, whereas Jacquizz Barksdale, he was very decisive, one cut downhill, power football.
Punishing.
And he was punishing, and he was punishing the Lafayette defense over and over again. Not big long runs, just ripping off consistent chunks. 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards, and that is why he ended up with I believe, like a 25-yard touchdown run after the Sean Dolak interception to seal this game. Overall, there were some hiccups in this game, though. The strength that we were told by Pete Lembo, by everyone, that was Pete Lembo's strength, was special teams, weren't great today. Had a blocked punt, missed a long field goal. So those things definitely need to be cleaned up if we are going to be any sort of contenders in the MAC. Now, obviously, expectations for this team are not very high. Brand new head coach, tons of different players coming in, a lot of movement, not a ton of returning guys. So expectations are low. However, this game does give you a little bit of confidence that maybe they are able to at least string somewhere between 4 to 5 wins together for the season. I would think I would be happy with a 4-win season in Lembo's first year. However, if they continue to play like a majority of the game that they played tonight, maybe a couple more wins is not out of the question, especially in the Mid-American Conference where every game is a toss-up.
Yeah. I think the most important thing to take away from this was they came out strong in the first half. They stumbled a little bit out of the block in the second half, but the important thing was they didn't let it spiral out of control. They had some big things, just some of it's luck, some of it's execution, but they buttoned things up. They kept to them, they kept themselves about them, what they do best, and they recovered and they finished strong. And finishing strong was freshman running back Terrence Shelton, who came in relief duty. And whether the defense was completely out of it or not, he looked solid and crisp out there. I mean, probably one of the more balanced running backs I've seen, which, I mean, should we be surprised? We've been an embarrassment of riches in that department for quite a while.
It seems like Buffalo, no matter what, always seems to have good running backs and good linebackers run through this program, and I don't think this year is going to be any different. Obviously, we mentioned Red Murdoch, Sean Dolak. You have a plethora, Jacquizz Barksdale. You have Shelton in the backfield. You still have LJ Henderson and Lamar Sperling also in the backfield for this UB Bulls team. A very improved-looking CJ Agbana. If he can have games like this game for the entire season, I think that would make any Bulls fan very happy and very excited for the rest of this season. Again, UB wins against their FCS opponent, their first win in a couple of years against an FCS opponent.
Last year's Patriots league champions, so that's big.
And preseason ranked number 18, I believe, in the FCS. So not a pushover FCS team, and they came out and basically controlled the game from start to finish. Awesome to see for this UB football team, something that we wanted to see out the gate in the Pete Lembo era, and they did just that. Again, beating Lafayette 30-13 to start this season off on a great note. Thank you guys for watching this video. You got plenty more UB content coming up this season, so make sure you guys stick around for that. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you're
follow on Twitter.
And follow on Twitter, NC Sports 716 at Sports Talk Buff 1. Thank you guys all for watching.
Go Bulls.
Go Bulls. Horns up.